I will show you how an ecom owner from Dubai will earn more than $600,000 worth of points from US credit cards. Because getting US credit cards when you're from Dubai, the EU, South America, or anywhere around the world, it doesn't have to be that difficult. So let's jump straight into the screen recording and let me show you everything. So I will get you the exact framework to determine whether you are qualified or not, whether you should get US credit cards or not. I will show you a calculator and also give you access to that exact calculator where you can see how much points and how much dollars you can actually earn from US credit cards in your exact situation. And I'm even going to give you the 4-step formula to how to actually get access to US credit cards if you want to do it all yourself. And last but not least, I want to do a complete breakdown of the cost so you can determine how much return on investment you have based on the calculated output and the cost overall. Now, if you don't want to do this yourself, but just want to have someone like me to get you US credit cards done for you, you can just go to the link in this description. It's gonna be a page like this, and then you can apply to work with me here. And yeah, that's basically it. There's gonna be other information in here, but we'll get back to that later. So we are back into this. Let's see if we can present it again. No, it's not gonna be the same view. But yeah, let's move on to the qualification criteria. So the one main qualification criteria that I see for business owners is you have to spend at least $10,000 a month for this to be a no-brainer for you. The more you're spending, the greater the output will be, and the greater the return on investment will be overall too. And secondly, you should understand that no results are here tomorrow, but you will see sufficient results and return on investment within the next 6, 12, and 18 months. You're gonna see it grow steadily over time, like you would see in a business. So this ecom owner, he's spending more than 100K a month in his business, so he's definitely qualified in terms of spend, and he also understood after talking to him that this takes time. Good things takes time. So after talking to him, we decided to move on, and we calculated what he can actually get from US credit cards. So I showed him this exact calculation that you're seeing too now. So his average spend each month are 100K. That means he's gonna spend $1.2 million a year. If he uses credit cards with American Express and Chase, some of them have 3x and 4x on advertising spend and other high spend categories. So that would mean he would actually be able to earn around 3.6 million points. If he uses those points best practice, he will have a cash value for around 100K during that. So that's $100,000 that he would be able to spend that he's currently not getting from his current banking and credit card solution. So while these numbers are great, I would characterize this as short term. What I really wanted him to look at, if his business is growing, let's just be conservative and say 10% year-on-year growth. How much will he leave on the table if he doesn't solve this problem today or this year? In 5 years, he would have lost 659, 300. Yeah, you read the numbers. I kind of flipped it. But yeah, it's over $600,000 worth of points just because he's using the wrong credit cards. That's a lot of money, guys. So I'm gonna leave this calculator open to you. What I wanted you to know before playing around in this calculator, the only thing you need to change in order to determine your own situation here is your average spend and your expected growth rate year over year. So if we go back to the link in this description, I'll find it. You can actually grab it yourself free of charge. You can just go to this page and grab a copy yourself. It's so simple. There's no gatekeeping at all. I just want you to understand how much money you're losing every single month, every single year if you're not doing this. Especially if you're spending more than $10,000 a month in your business. This is a certain no-brainer. So when talking to business owners around the world, one of the most common questions I get is, what can I actually use these points for? So let's give the example again. So this guy, he's expected to earn 3.6 million points. What can he actually use those points for? Because now you know they have a cash value, but for what? So I have given you some examples in this video here too. Let me see if I can actually zoom in. Yeah. So what can you get for 100,000 points? So have in mind here, he is gonna earn 3.6 million. This is for 100,000 points. So times that by 36. So he will be able to get business class tickets from Copenhagen to Dubai with Emirates. He will be able to have an 8-night stay on Grand Hyatt in Dubai. He will be able to have business class tickets from Helsinki to Bangkok with Finnair. And these are a lot of examples of what you can actually get. Of course, these are based on best practice use, but it's actually not that difficult to use it best practice. And that's something I help my clients with in the Done For You solution I offer them and they are on. So here are just some more examples, and you can even use them with most airlines. So if you're flying with this airline, most likely 99% certainty you are able to use those points with the airline. You can also use it with more than 10,000 hotels worldwide. And if you're earning so much points that you don't know what to spend it on, you can use them on Amazon as well. But this is though one thing I want to say, it's not best practice. You're not gonna get the best return on your points using them on Amazon. And the same goes for if you're earning a lot of points and you're spending a lot of money, but you can't use those points. You can actually make a credit card strategy where you earn a certain cashback from 1 to 3%. So again, this is not best practice in terms of optimizing the return, but if you're not using the points, the value of them are 0. So you might as well earn a cashback for that. So how is all of this possible? How it's possible for any business owner around the world is still going through a 4-step formula, and it's very simple. But if you don't want to go through the steps and the 4-step formula yourself, you can just click the link in this description and apply to work with me. Then my team and I will take care of everything done for you. And the only thing you should focus on is your business, and we'll handle this so you can actually get a positive return on investments in both your business and on US credit cards. Alright, so let's go through the 4 steps, because I don't want to leave you empty-handed going through this video. You will actually learn how to do it overall. So the first step is to build the foundational setup. And in detail, this is getting your ITIN number in the United States, which is a physical number. Doesn't mean that you're gonna be a tax resident of the US if you're not living there. You'll need a US address, and you will need a US phone number enabled in order to actually apply for banks in the United States. The second step is once you have the foundational setup, you're actually able to apply for US banks. And once you are getting approved for US banks, it's all about using the banks as you're currently using the banking situations, your current banking solutions. So I don't want to overcomplicate that stuff. The reason why this is important is you need to build up trust with both the bank and the US credit system. So once you use the bank will then report your activity to a credit reporting agency that will issue you a credit score. And these banks, they use the credit score to determine how much risk they're willing to take with you, and therefore how much credit they're willing to give you. So in details, there's 2 ways to open a bank account in the United States. You can either go there physically, or you can open some of them online. It's not the same banks, you can do this, and I will always recommend to open them physically in the United States, because you're trying to build up trust here. And it's no secret that there's more trust built when you see someone face to face, whether just an online application. So once you are inside of the US banks and you have built up your credit score to 670 plus, 670 plus in credit score, you are able to get more and the better benefits credit cards, and you're also able to apply for business credit cards when you also have a US LLC setup. So I don't want to overcomplicate this stuff, because it's actually very simple when you get to that point, but most people are around this phase, and this will be the first 3 to 6 months of building up the foundational setup and getting access to the first banks. And once you are at this point, it's about picking the right credit cards from your current situation that will maximizing your earning potential. Because when you're maximizing your earning potential, you get as many points as possible. And then the next step is to increase the value and optimize the value of those points in order to get the biggest return on investment. So I could talk about these 4 steps for ages, but what I need you to just focus on now is to determine if this is valuable for you to go through. So that's why I also am gonna go back to this one, because now we talked about the actual output you can get from your current situation. But what about the cost and the return on investment that you can expect from this? So that's what this next tab is about. That's to determine how much costs are affiliated with getting a setup like this, and then you will be able to determine whether it's a good idea for you to do it or not. So let me break it down, and also this is in the same thing here. So when you grab your copy, you will see it here too if you want to go through it yourself. So it's 3 simple questions that I'm asking: whether you have an ITIN or not, and most people don't have an ITIN already. And then the second question is whether you have an US address accessible or not through friends or family. So do you have friends or family in the United States where you will actually be able to have an address with them? If you do have, this will decrease your costs significantly. As you can see, if you put in no here, the costs are going to be different. And then the third question and final question is if you already have a US LLC set up. So if we just say in terms of you say no to everything, you will need to pay for an ITIN number, one-time fee. You'll need to have a US LLC up and running. I personally pay around $2,000 a year to have my US LLC set up in Delaware. And then you'll need an address, which is approximately $600 a month for a verified virtual address that handles everything and will get accepted by the banks. There's some more details to this. And then you have the US credit card subscription in the first 12 months. There might be more, there might be less, but then this will mean that you have a total cost of around $9,000. Let's round it up, around $9,000. But you see the estimated output for this in 12 months is $108,000. So you have 1,200% in return on investment. So you can play around with this. These two tabs are connected. So the only input fields you should care about are these 2 here, and then you should only care about answering these simple yes/no questions. Then you'll be able to determine how much you can actually benefit from this. So yeah, that's basically it. What we concluded with this ecom owner from Dubai is that he actually concluded it himself, that it's more expensive not to work with me and actually get US credit cards with my done for you service than it would be to not work with me. He said that himself. Alright, so the goal for this video was to make you more aware of US credit cards, why to use them, what the potential in your current situation is, and how much you're actually leaving on the table in opportunity cost if you're not pursuing US credit cards. I hope you learned something today, and if you want me to help you get US credit cards done for you, then click the link in the description and apply to work with me and my team. And if you want to play around in the calculator, go to the same link in this description and grab your own copy. So yeah, that's it for this video. See you in the next one. Bye.